Good morning. It is 8 o'clock. It is the 25th day of February 2021, and I am your cautiously controversial toxic gatekeeper. Support me, Coke. The OGGM. Sitting on my porch and yelling at you kids to get off my lawn. Here's some more news in regard to our wonderful art form that is Dungeons and Dragons and its parent company, Hasbro. Hasbro has decided to, seeing the amount of money Wizards of the Coast made them in 2019, over $816 million of Hasbro's money in 2019 was Wizards of the Coast product. Of course, 90% of that was magic, but still. Hasbro has decided to divide into three units: consumer products, toys, classic board games, G.I. Joe; entertainment, film and TV license; Wizards and digital, WOTC plus digital licensing. So what does this mean? They don't really say what it means. Some people think this is good for the community. Of course, there's people attacking the OSR fans like myself already. Here's a comment from one guy saying, "And a hue and a cry goes out from all the older fans who desperately want D&D sold off and bought by someone who gets it and changes the game back to the old ways they think it's supposed to be." You know, you complain about how toxic we are about people who say things like this, but, you know, let's just say you were the ones who were saying stuff about this long before we ever said anything like, we think what you're saying is stupid. There's some talk about how we wanted Hasbro to sell we wanted Hasbro to sell Wizards of the Coast, which of course, again, is completely untrue. The OSR people did not want Hasbro to sell Wizards of the Coast. We wanted Wizards of the Coast to sell the older license, basically 0, OG through 3.5, the TSR stuff, back to Ernie and Luke. They are not going to do anything with it. The OSR movement is very passionate about the older stuff and seeing the older stuff getting the respect it deserves. So why not sell the Gygax stuff back to Ernie Gygax and Luke Gygax? We never said sell off Wizards of the Coast. If anything, we want you to absorb Wizards of the Coast, since it's mostly just magic and board games anyways, and you're mostly just board games. Really, we think that you should just, and maybe, an actual corporation run by people who actually understand how money works, and still, as opposed to trying to be socially correct, would actually maybe run Wizards of the Coast better and treat people better than Wizards of the Coast has been treating people lately. So no, and we sort of got to wear. Anyways, what does this mean? Blah, blah, blah. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's way too early. I need more caffeine. Wizards of the Coast Hasbro is restructuring its corporation. So it's dividing into its investments into consumer products, the classic Hasbro shit; entertainment, film, TV licensing, which I think is Power Rangers mostly for them right now; and Wizards and digital. So this will be selling the name of D&D to things like Roll20 and stuff like that, creating video games associated with Hasbro products like My Little Pony, Transformers, Power Rangers, creating games using Hasbro, like G.I. Joe, Transformers, My Little Pony. We know that they were talking about making RPGs based upon all those licenses. And of course, absorbing much of Wizards of the Coast and redirecting it to make them more money and will give them more control. So this could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. I don't think it's a surprise to anyone, considering all the political and lawsuits issues that Wizards of the Coast has had, and considering how much money Magic the Gathering and Dungeons and Dragons has made Hasbro in the last couple of years. It makes sense that they would sort of reabsorb much of the Wizards of the Coast and try and control more of it and try and control the direction and maybe sort of avoid any future lawsuits. So I think we're going to see in the next couple of days some notes of firings restructurings, the same thing that's going on with like other geek-based industries, like the comic books, where things are going to get reabsorbed by the parent company. A lot of the independent contractors who work for company, like Wizards of the Coast, will probably be let go, or will have their departments reduced. Hasbro can probably control more of the art, more of the shipping, more of the direction. We'll probably see more like, oh, we think you should do more D&D Magic stuff, and we think you should do a Transformers role-playing game, and blah blah blah. So is this a bad thing for OSR players like myself? No, because we know that we're not Wizards of the Coast target audience anymore, and we're still going to support the OSR. We would like you to let the TSR Gygax product go and revert back to Ernie Gygax and Luke Gygax. But, whatever. We've got our OSR games. We've got our AD&D. We realize we're not the target audience for the 5th edition. That's fine. Whatever. So this is neither bad news or good news for us. Is it bad news or good news for the post-Gygax fans? The fans of 4th? Well, yeah, because they're not supporting 4th. And the fans of 5th? I don't know. I mean, if you're a fan of 5th edition and you like them doing the Magic the Gathering source books, then you're probably going to be perfectly happy. If you like the direction that Dungeons & Dragons is going now and want to continue to see it go towards that direction, you're probably going to be perfectly happy. If you don't like the idea of Hasbro having more fingers in the D&D pot and having more control over the shipping and the art and the way things are directed, and maybe more control over the legal aspects, so maybe then maybe, I don't know, you might not like this. I don't think insulting OSR players in your comments is a great way to bridge the gap. You've created this toxic environment, whether you intended it to exist or not. The environment is getting more toxic. People are blaming the OSR players, but really, we're not the ones who are saying stuff like that. It's the post 4th edition, 5th edition fan base, the critters, so to speak, who are saying stuff like, oh, we're crying, and oh, we're cisgender, and oh, we're Aspie, and oh, we're racist. And it's like, no, you're the one saying that about us, but we're not saying anything about you. You're creating the toxicity, and yet you're attacking us. And then you're blaming us for being toxic. So I'm perfectly happy if Hasbro reabsorbs Wizards of the Coast and redirects the energy. Maybe it's a good thing. I hope it's a good thing. I want it to be a good thing. I want Hasbro to control Wizards of the Coast and run it like a corporation whose job is to make money and keep its shareholders happy, and stop having stupid lawsuits, and stop firing people, and stop the sexual harassment that's been happening in Wizards of the Coast, and stop the toxicity towards the fan base. So this is the news. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing terminations, restructuring, absorbings, independent contractors who are associated with the Wizards of the Coast sort of pushed to the side, a more linear progression of titles. Definitely, I would expect to see a My Little Pony role-playing game, a Transformers role-playing game, a Power Rangers role-playing game, a G.I. Joe role-playing game. Should they use the 5e system? Some of them would work perfectly fine in 5es. Others, no, would need their own system. But whatever. And I probably wouldn't be surprised if we see more of the D&D Black books be Magic books as well. All good things if you're a 5th edition fan. And if you're an OSR fan, you don't care. Anyways, that's the news. I will talk to you later. If you appreciate this content, comment down below. If you don't appreciate this content and think I need to shut up, comment down below. If you're planning on unsubscribing, let me know why, because I can't fix it if you don't let me know it's broken. And above all, help me hit 500 subs by August 4th by telling your friends, supporting, subscribing, hitting the notification button, checking out the links, and above all, stay classy.